All right, everyone. I just wanted to, say congratulations and thank you for diving into the training. I hope that you guys, took some stuff away from it. I hope that you guys got some good information. If there's any questions that you have, if there's anything that you want to discuss tonight, I encourage you to speak up. We are all a little family here. I know it's kind of intimidating seeing everyone's faces, or at least it was for me. When I was on my first Zoom with Nikki, I kind of sat there like this and was like, oh my God, don't look at me, anybody. So I feel like we've all been there, but I really do encourage you, like now is your opportunity to get some questions answered, to talk about things. Maybe you need some advice or help, or you don't know where to get started, or you don't know where something is. There's no stupid question. There's no stupid anything. So just kind of throw that out. And if you have anything to say, just jump right in, because this is going to be very casual. First of all, does anyone have any questions starting off, or anything they want to say about the Rock the Basics or the group?
I do.
Yeah.
Sorry. This has helped me out. I'm sorry. This group has been awesome. I started at the very last day of the year, and I'm really so excited because I've sold 2 challenge packs. And I guess my question is, how can I show my girls how amazing it is to be a coach? Because whenever I explain it to them, they're like, oh, I'm really happy to have my challenge pack, but I just don't think that I really want to jump in and be a coach. I try to encourage them and say, you show this potential and you're doing this in the group and you're doing a great job here. And I think you'd be a great coach. And this is why I love it. And I put them in the Girl Boss group.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like I can't explain what my heart feels, how much I love it. And then for them, they're like, so I'm kind of at a loss there as to how to build my team and not just sell challenge packs.
I think, at least, Jen, you can chime in too, but as far as leading other people go, what you can do is lead by example and be passionate about what you're doing, be excited about what you're doing. But it really does take your coaches or your team are you talking about coaches or are you talking about challengers?
To coaches, like to get them to sign up whenever they buy their challenge pack, to sign up as a coach. And I throw out the discount coaching, hoping that later on, that they would want to do it. But I tell them, it's incentive. You get your fee waived, your $40 fee waived. And they're like, yeah, that's great, but I'm just not really sure. So
I think sometimes when we're new at this, people want to watch for a little while. They want to see how long we're going to be doing something. They want to see what our experience is. They want to see what we take away from it. They want to see our changes, and they want to build trust. Even if it's someone you know really well, it can be a good friend or a family member. But until they have their mindset in the place where they want to do it, it's really hard to I asked Melanie. She was a rock star challenger in my group, Shakeology, 12 months. I asked her for 12 months straight to be a coach. Hey, Melanie, and it took, and then finally I was like, I need your social security number. I'm signing you up. But that was 12 months in. So it takes, a lot of people have to get out of their own way too. I hear a lot of, well, I'm not, at my goal weight. We never are. I'm not at my goal this. I'm not. If you don't have a goal, then you're not consistently changing. So there's no end goal in sight. And I think, bringing that up in subtle ways and just being you and authentic and real and keep doing what you're doing, eventually, people are going to join your team. I was a slow builder. Some people are really fast. So it just depends on your pace, who you're talking to. Jen was she built her team really fast. So, she can touch on that too, but for me, it was just building that trust and that rapport. And, I had to work on myself a little bit too in there while I was doing it. So.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah, and don't get discouraged or think that you're doing something wrong or that you're doing something bad or that you made a mistake. We all make mistakes. I make them every day, and you just dust it off and you learn and you keep going. And
Yeah.
one thing I will touch on that you're talking about is when you guys do get coaches and when you are building your teams, it's very important for your coaches to see you as a leader. And that can look like sharing something in your coaches group in Be Misfit. I know it's a big group. It's a little intimidating. It can be. If you're ready to dive in that group, go for it. What shows up one way for someone might not show up the same way for you. You might be ready to dive into Beatnik. But make sure that you are, showing up as a leader for them, because you're going to want your coaches to do what you do. And if they don't see you present anywhere, they're not going to be present, or they might not feel comfortable to step up in different groups. So I just want to, give you guys that little nugget, because that's really important. And there's no time frame for when you break off and do your own group. You can stay, in your coaches team page and Be Misfit, all that. Don't worry about that. Put that on the back burner and just worry about, what you're doing now. Be excited about what you're doing now. And don't compare. This is another thing. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's, whether it's someone in this group that, you went through training with, or that you started at the same time with, or if it's somebody who's on your team that you admire or that you just got to know, or it's your success partner. I just really challenge you guys and encourage you not to compare, because it really is the thief of joy. I've almost quit coaching a few times based on this right here. Nothing else. It wasn't my heart. It wasn't anything else. It was what I was telling myself in my mind. And it was not relevant to anyone else but these fears and these things that I was creating, So just, run with this team, and don't compare, and be excited, for your teammates if they're advancing in their business or if they hit Success Club. I remember there was a point in time where I was like, well, damn, I want to hit that. And I had to get out of that mindset. That's not what it's about. We're all excited for each other. So that's just some things that, when I was going back to the beginning, when I started, some little takeaways that on my journey that I wish I knew from the beginning. So, does anyone else have any questions right now? Jen, do you have anything to add?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, and if you guys have questions, just hit the little unmute thing, and just, you can interrupt at any time. But I wanted to talk about two things really quick as far as like what to do next. We do have that Crock-Pot Clean Eating Challenge group that we've opened up to the whole team. So even if you have one person who wants to do it with you, get in the challenge group, see what it's about. I know you've seen your coaches challenge groups, I'm sure, but it's fun to, have one or two people in a big group where you can support them. So you can private invite to that. You can do a message on your, personal page, however you feel comfortable doing that. But I strongly encourage you guys to, participate in that. It'll be fun, and it'll be a good way to get started if you don't already have a date where you want to set your own. So with that being said, I set a date where you want to start your own challenge group, or set a date where you want to run one with a success partner. And I don't know if you guys have a success partner, if we've touched on that, but if not, I can go into that a little bit too. But, I think the quicker we dive in and put fear aside and get out of our comfort zone, the quicker we learn. I dove into my challenge group. I think I had, 15 or 19 people in it, and half were my friends and family. And I said, be in this and post something each day. Like, so it's like you fake it till you make it. You just do what you just roll with it. And that is the best way to learn. I'm telling you, I was a terrified mess going into this weekend, and I'm going through yoga teacher training, and I made it a point to, the minute I got in my head that I wanted to share something, I'd stand up before that other voice said, oh no, sit down, let someone else do it. So I challenge you to quiet that voice, and when you're ready to do something, go for it. Don't second guess yourself. Don't talk yourself out of it. Write down that date that you want to start a challenge group, or that you're going to do it, and run with it. And you have a whole team of support. We're all here to support each other, and make sure that you guys have the tools you need, any support you need to get started right on this amazing journey. Really,
I have a quick question.
yeah.
Okay. I am starting my second challenge group on February 2nd. And when it comes to the Crockpot challenge group, I would personally love to do it since this is my second group, I guess. Should I also, my personal page, offer it? I don't want to be too overwhelming and throw too much at people. What do you suggest?
Well, I messed up on that, and we should have started the challenge group tomorrow. So I take responsibility for taking it on the second, because a lot of other people are starting their challenge groups then. What I would suggest that you do is roll with your group that you have now, and then maybe the second or third weekend of February, offer that up, or partner up with somebody else and offer a free group, because that's a way to get new participants. Or you don't even have to do one. You know, you can wait until you transition into a Beachbody focus group and then start doing the 7-day clean eating challenges as you go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions right now? Okay. And the other two more things I wanted to talk about were, we are going to do a little Emerald focus group. And that is going to start on the 4th, Wednesday the 4th. I don't like to, some people, they've been called push groups or push to Emerald or push to Diamond. I don't really like that term. I think encouragement or support or, you know, curiosity, whatever your word is that you're feeling towards these different levels or goals that you have. But they're great groups to get more information from, to maybe learn something new from. I know I was in like 4 Diamond groups before I went Diamond, but I wasn't really in it to be like, okay, I have to be Diamond by the end of this. Like, you're learning from other leaders on the team. So with that being said, whether you do this Emerald group or not, if another group comes up and it's a Diamond group and you don't have any coaches on under you, that's okay. You can still be in it and you can still learn. I mean, I feel like through this journey of coaching, some of those groups I've learned my most valuable tools in. You know, one group, they told us, okay, you're going to make a video. And I said, bye, I'm not making no video, I'm out. And I stuck with it and, you know, made a video of that group. So that was my thing. I didn't like videos. You know, some people don't like, you know, sharing their story or putting themselves out there. So I just encourage you to, you know, step outside that comfort zone. And you'll really, really learn so much about yourself in the process too, you know, because this journey has been all about supporting other people and empowering other people to, you know, believe in themselves, whether they're on their fitness journey or their personal growth journey. And it's also that for us, you know, so do those things that you're encouraging your challengers to do, and you're going to grow, you know, so much because of that too. So that kind of went off tangent on that. But the Emerald group, if you would like to be a part of it, that's when we're starting. And if you don't, that's okay. It's not good, bad, indifferent. You know, you just go at your pace. And the last thing I wanted to talk about really quick was, you know, with this Lost the Basics group, that's what we used to call it, but we called it the Don't Be Basic group this time. If there's anything that you guys feel like you want to see, or that was missing clarity, or that you didn't get, or that you loved, you know, we leaders would really appreciate any feedback, good, not good or bad, but, you know, just any feedback, anything that came up for you, anything that, like I said, you loved that maybe was missing that you wanted to learn about, because that's going to help us grow as a team, and that's going to help new coaches grow. So, you know, don't ever be afraid to ever come to me and message me about anything, but yeah, don't ever be afraid to speak up either, because we really appreciate that. So that's all I really had. I just wanted to answer questions and just wrap up the group. And Jen, do you have anything? Did I miss anything?
Not that I can think of, unless anyone has any other questions or.
Hi guys.
Hi.
I have a little question. So I know we were just talking about the Crockpot Challenge group, but as the other coach who just had a question before, who's running her second challenge, I'm just getting ready to start my very first one on February 2nd. So do you recommend that I wait until further in the challenge to do the crockpot thing? And if so, are there templates, or just kind of whatever, do it right now? Or
I would personally wait, just because it
Okay.
gets a little confusing if you're putting two things out there. And basically the idea around the crockpot group was for people who maybe didn't have a large enough challenge group, or weren't ready to step out on their own, or wanted to experience leading. They had 5 people and they wanted to experience leading them in a group setting. So, or for a coach who's been doing it for a while and just wanted to do another group. So that's what it was there for. But if you have your own group ready to rock, run with that. And there are templates, and like I said, I dove into my challenge group in December, and I don't think it was until maybe March or April that I added on that free extra week. So it might look different for you. It might look like, oh, I don't need to add that for 5 months. It's just a good tool to have, a good way to meet new people, talk to new customers. So yeah, it's kind of like something in your back pocket, or something you can offer up.
sounds good. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And then one other thing I touched on earlier, success partner. So some of us have success partners, and it's somebody that I encourage you, if you do have one, to find somebody who, has the qualities where, I don't know how to word it right, but where you guys are going to work well together. Don't just sign up and say, I want a success partner. Like my success partner reached out to me. She's great. Love her to death, but she's not currently working the business. That's okay. Things happen. So if you do team up with somebody, make sure it's the right fit. Be in a little bit of communication, what you need from them. Their needs from you might be different than your needs from them. And a success partner starting out is basically that support, that you might need in a challenge group. You guys could co-run things. Might be somebody, that you check in with and run ideas by. It's just that added extra accountability and support. And my success partner and I, we ran, she was in my first 3, I think, and I was in her first 5. So it can be different on both sides, But in order to, find a good success partner, or find somebody that fits, that's where I encourage you guys to, be present in the coaching pages and be Misfit. Because it's very hard to pair somebody up if we don't know anything about anybody. And that's something that I really try and avoid, is to pair my coach up, or coach on the team up, with somebody and just say, okay, you guys are great, go, and then it's like complete opposites. They have different goals, or on different pages. So if you guys are wanting to have a success partner, which I think is awesome, just, maybe open up a little bit about you, where you're at in your coaching journey, what your goals are, what kind of coach you want to be. And again, it's your journey. So no one's going to judge you if you're, not ready to dive in, or you're doing this part-time, but it's just a good thing to know. So you can be paired up with somebody who matches, your goals and what you're trying to do as well. Sound good?
Yes. So how do we figure out who has a Success Club partner and who doesn't? Do we just post on our team site, or?
There's a few different ways to do it. You can talk to Jen, and say, do you have anyone in mind? And I encourage people to be on, the same team, the same downline, but maybe not somebody you already know. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody who you see posting in the group and you're like, oh, they're inspiring. I'm picking up what they're putting down. I like this. And, that takes you putting yourself out there a little bit too. So, but by no means, if there's somebody that that's Jen's coach, that's one of her coaches, team up with them. I'm just saying to open it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be, one of her coaches that signed up at the exact same time as you, And I don't know if I know that we have a file, it hasn't really been updated in a while, in BMisfit, about who has a partner and who doesn't.
We do, and I just tagged you on it, Tammy.
Thank you. I thought I saw something in the files a while back. There's so much information I'm processing in, though. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And yeah, you guys might not be ready for a success partner yet. That's okay. I didn't have a success partner until, I don't know, March or something, April. So it's not something that you have to check off your to-do list tomorrow. But just be open to it. If you see somebody posting, or if you're like, oh, this fits, or if you're like, okay, I'm ready to dive in, I want someone to run with, maybe someone else needs to run a group together. So just be open to it, and don't feel like you have to do all these things tomorrow. But the success partners are great, especially in the beginning for that support. So
you're not actually running the challenge groups together. You're just kind of running ideas by each other and helping each other. Is that right?
Well, it can show up different for anyone. Like my success partner and I was so new that it was so nice to have somebody on a Beachbody program posting about Shakeology, posting about their workout, kind of spark a little bit of interest among the other challengers. There was a really good national wake up call on 2 success partners that freaking rock it. They're like just, they've been doing it for a lot longer, but their communication around it is what I see success partners like. And in the beginning, that can show up differently. That can look like, okay, we're going to run it. Maybe you just run a clean eating group together, so you have a little bit more support and people in that group together. It might not be your regular challenge group. It might be somebody that you check in with every other Friday to talk about your goals, to talk about if you've done personal development, run ideas by. I know that we do that as a team, but sometimes it's nice to have that one-on-one. Maybe you Zoom once a month and you get that one-on-one connection and you go over stuff. Or, the possibilities are endless. We made a file on kind of what to ask, what to think about when it comes to a success partner. And a lot of that shows up with communication and what you need and what they need. Like always be in communication. I've seen a lot of us, and I was guilty of it, just pair up just to pair up. I didn't know anything about my success partner when I was just happy someone asked, And so I think there's nothing wrong with, taking a step back and finding the right fit for both of you. But definitely my personal experience with it, it's nice to have that support of someone else there, like actually there, especially if you're someone who has a hard time, leaving their comfort zone or maybe knowing what to say in the group. You can go to your success partner. Hey, how would you respond to this? Or, hey, or they can respond to it. So it's not, there's all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
Does that help clear it up a little bit?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
No problem. Do you guys have any? I know there's got to be some questions in this group. Anyone?
Hi, you guys. This is Sarah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm not on the computer. I'm just dialing in from my phone. But I was looking through the group, and I didn't see any organizational type ideas that did not have paper involved. I'm more of a digital, all on my phone or tablet type person. Is there anything in the group that's available like that for ideas?
Yeah, are you talking about organizational tools, like stuff that you can input stuff in, like maybe a Google Drive type of thing? What kind of organizational tools, like for your challenge?
There was the template for the the PDF template for the, I forget who created it for 2015, like the Power Hour type PDF. But I didn't know if there was something like that or anyone had suggestions for digital. Like I have my calendar all planned out, and I have everything on like a note type, like my notes app on my iPhone. But I didn't know if there was an app or something that people found helpful, because paper is just not my friend.
So as far as organizational tips for my challengers, I have a document where I write down each person's name, when they started, 1 through 3, based on how active they are. Just my little system that I do. But as far as stuff being online, like tools and tips, things you can download, we do have a website under Beat Nick that has got some of these tools that you can download. But okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm having a hard time with understanding because everything that I do is based on my computer, but organizational wise, like I write stuff down in my calendar. That's the only place where I write now. So I feel like a lot of the things that I do are online or on a template. Maybe I could
Right, but there's templates I can't pull up and like edit on my phone. That's why I didn't know if there was an app for like organization or something with that kind of
okay.
capability that you guys found helpful.
So if I put them in a what? Oh, go ahead, Jen.
Can you pull up Excel on your phone?
I can pull it up, but I can't edit it.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna say, I know I have a template in Excel where I've added to it.
What about Google Drive? Can you download those files and edit them if they're shared with you?
I didn't try that. I haven't, besides the Google Calendar, I haven't really thought about the Google Drive. I can try that and see.
Okay, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and then you can message me or you can post it in the group, and I'll make sure that we find something that, you know, works for what you're looking for, because we have so many tools and so many coaches do all their stuff online. But as far as downloading some of the files that are in like Beatnik or BMisfit, those are uploaded. Some of them are uploaded from our computer or they're PDFs, so they're non-editable for me either. So it's just a matter of finding something that, you know, that works for you organizational wise that you can edit yourself. So we can definitely figure out something for you or exactly what you're looking for.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. What was your name again? I'm sorry, I can't see your name on the screen.
That's okay. It's Sarah.
Okay. All right, cool. Does anyone else have any questions? Anyone?
I have a concern, or maybe I'm just looking for a little bit of advice. I'm not one that started off with a lot of Facebook friends. They've always just been people I know closely. So I'm a little bit nervous about when I put everything out there a lot, about being that overnight sensation that people warn you not to be. So I'm slowly growing my friends up. We'll probably pick up a lot more this spring with the kids and baseball and stuff like that. But I guess I feel like I have to pace myself, because I'm really afraid of everybody going, well, where's all this stuff coming from? So any advice on that?
Yeah, and that's a really good question, because, you know, we don't want to scare people off, and we're excited. We don't want to dive in and every day start posting about this. And just because one person has a lot of success on Facebook doesn't mean that you can't have success in other conversations or through email or through this. There's other ways that you can tap into that. But as far as like growing your network, add a few friends a day. Don't go crazy with it like you were talking about, because you'll end up in Facebook jail. And if any of you guys don't know what that is, it's if you request a lot of friends and they don't accept it, you can go in and unfriend request them. But if Facebook sees you having like 20 pending friend requests, they'll put you in jail. It's not a fun place to be. I was there for 30 days. So, cause I was excited in the beginning. I was adding away, you know, so it happens. But I like to stick to the 80-20 rule, you know, pick 5 things that are you. It can be faith, family, kids, you know, 5 things that are you. And then the 5th or the 6th can be fitness and what you're doing. And I think, again, sometimes we can get in our own head when we go to post about it, even if it's once or twice a week. And it doesn't have to be in your face. It can, there are ways that I've kind of thrown Shakeology in there. I'm like, gosh, I'm running out the door, going to yoga, drinking my shake, you know, just kind of putting it in there without putting it all the way out there. So there are subtle ways to do it, but as far as building, I would stick to what you're doing, 2 to 3 friends a day. Make sure that they're accepting. And then, you know, you think about the other ways. I know I have some coaches who are really good with email. I have one coach who she does workouts at her school with other teachers. You can talk to people on the baseball field. Is that what you said, baseball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're there all the time.
Yeah, and you can talk to people in person. You know, I started doing that now. When I first went into the yoga studio, people were like, well, what do you do? And I was like, I kind of coach like I'm a beach body. I don't know what I do actually. I just sat there. I didn't know what the heck to say. I'm like, how the hell do I explain this? And now I'm like, I'm a beach body coach. Loud and I had to get comfortable here with it. I had to get confident, and I was basing all my confidence on what I lacked, where I wasn't, how much money I didn't make, how many challengers I didn't help, all this negative stuff, So I think it takes like getting confident in here to talk about it out loud too. At least that was my experience. But yeah, there's other ways to do it other than Facebook. Instagram. I don't know if you have an Instagram account. Some coaches have had a lot of success with Instagram. Jen, can you think of any other ways?
No, but like, was out and proud, and bringing my Shakeology cup with me and just drinking it, and they'd come over and say, Shakeology, I've heard about that, and we would just start a conversation, and then like you were saying, you don't want to put everything all out there at once. And I think the biggest thing that you want people to realize about you is that you're on this journey and you're just inviting them along with you. So you don't have to feel like, you're some, health guru or, anything like that. You're just like, hey guys, I'm having so much fun doing this, come with me. And I think that kind of takes the pressure off. I know for me, that took the pressure off of me when I first became a coach, because I was like, I'm not, a fitness expert. I don't know everything. But when I realized, I'm just going to share my story, and I'm just going to see if anybody wants to, do it with me. It was so much easier going into it with that mindset.
And it's hard sometimes to share those personal things about us, but that's what makes us real. One thing in a challenge group too is I never try and be perfect. No one wants to be led by perfect. You just be you. It's not about being perfect. That's not why we're on this journey. We're here to support, encourage, empower, motivate, whatever word is your word. That's what we're here to do as coaches, as leaders, as friends. And I think if you show up from that place, just really trying to be you, whether it's to 2 people out there that look and like, or 50. And that's another thing. When I first started, I would post and be like, oh my God, how many people like this? No, like now I post from a place of I'm putting it out there, 1 like or 50. If someone comes to my page and they can scroll through it, they can tell a lot about me. And who's really good at this? Is Lindsay Matway. She was the top coach last year, so I encourage you guys, write down her name, check out her Facebook page. If you scroll through it for 2 minutes, you'll know her whole life story, and she's very good at putting it out there. And there's nothing wrong with following. Think about books we read or people we admire, or anything. That's like other coaches to us. There's nothing wrong with following them, getting inspiration from them. Make it your own, but we all get inspiration from somewhere. And yeah, take it and learn from them as well. I know we all do that. But Lindsay Matway, she's like the best example of anybody can know her story just by going to her page. She's very, very good at that. Does anyone else have any questions? We only have like 2 minutes. All right, well, if you guys do, feel free to post them in Be Misfit, or I'm gonna leave this group open for another week so people can get caught up if they were, even if you wanna go back and look at something, this will be open. You can ask questions in there. Yeah, thank you guys so much. This is great. I love the questions, and I'm proud of you guys. I'm so excited for your journeys. I know Jen and I are here to help you in any way we can. Any questions, any support, anything. Don't ever be afraid to reach out to us or anyone else on the team. Okay? All right. Well, you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for getting on, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.